And here we go. Webinar just started. To everyone who is joining, happy afternoon, happy morning, happy Thursday, last day before Friday. I know that most of us are waiting for this moment for a long, long time. Today, we are delighted to have CX colleagues in our rows talking about different points of our agenda. But before going too deep, we will let the people join. The recording is already started, so we should be good. So let me check what we have on the agenda for today. We have first René talking about the now next event in Frankfurt, and he will give us back the excitement that he is having in the daily work with our marketing team regarding the agenda and giving you a high level approach of what you can expect from the event. I mean, we all know that we are still early in the year, so we do not expect too much details, but we will try to excite you. Then we will go over to our education team with Ed Webster and Mike Weyrauch talking about the IGEL Academy Migration to Skilljar. I already had my first touching point this morning, and I must admit I didn't read the email carefully, so my bad. But they delivered an amazing migration to a new tool, and I hope that we can onboard you as well on this journey as we did before. Then we have Jason McCallum talking about the IGEL Managed Hypervisor, giving you a deep dive about what this feature is about, how the deployment workflow looks like, and which resources you would need to go through to understand this feature. Then, lastly, before going into the Q&A piece, the IGEL App Creator Portal and Custom App Workflow. As you know, since we moved to OS 12, we do not need custom partitions anymore. At least that's our goal on the midterm. And we want you and our partners to create own apps. And therefore, we have launched, if I remember right, mid of last year, the App Creator Portal. So that's where Jason will again show us how to use this approach and give you a demo and tell you which kind of documentations you might need. Then roughly 10 minutes of Q&A and open discussions. And talking about Q&A, as we have a webinar today, it would be great if you guys could just use the Q&A piece of our Zoom client instead of using the chat. We will monitor the chat, but usually it's easier for us to track questions that we might not be able to answer easily and bring answers afterwards by using the Q&A instead of the chat. But besides this, welcome everyone. René, how are you today?
I'm doing very good. Welcome everybody, and my pleasure it is to give you a short update to now Next in Frankfurt. So if you attended Miami this year, I think you know how great this event was, and we want to make an awesome event again, also in Frankfurt. We're quite good for the moment for the planning. So we're having our tech breakouts that are organized this time from our CX department, where we have advanced deployment techniques, upgrade journey from OS 11 to 12. You have a comparison IGEL UMS design cloud versus on-prem. Reverse proxy. I think there's a Linux session. There's so many great sessions already, and we didn't even start to finalize our community stage, because we have a dedicated community stage where we invite people from our community to present their use cases with IGEL. Maybe we invite them to an interview, to a round where we can talk and discuss several topics. This will be pretty cool. Our director, pre-sales UKI, John Moody, will have a fantastic special session about public speaking. Everyone who knows John Moody, he's a fantastic guy. This will be really fun. I'm looking so much forward for this event. For the moment, we plan probably maybe we have a small concert from our own Mike Weyrauch, who's presenting also later in this call. I can tell you this will be a fantastic event. And if you plan to come to the event, reach out to me. Maybe I have a voucher code. Maybe I still have some free tickets left for special community members. So reach out to me, and if you're not bought a ticket, maybe we can make it happen. So will be a fantastic event. Seb and I are working also in the back end on so many great other things. We think about how can we do the community better, maybe on the community 2.0. Had fantastic calls this week, also next week's, and there will also come a lot in the near future, I think. And you can be excited because this will be going awesome.
Thank you, René. So in case you didn't know it, we have a separate channel, which in former times was called IGEL Disrupt. Now it's obviously called IGEL Now and Next. And there we will share any news regarding the event. We will try to link everyone by using a channel or at everyone so you get a personal notification. But just in case, if you muted this channel for whatever reason and you want to attend the Frankfurt event, I would highly recommend you to unmute this channel and look at it quite regularly, because talking about vouchers, talking about agenda, even last minute changes will usually be communicated in this channel. So René and I will be there. I hope a lot of our CX and pre-sales colleagues will join as well. John Moody is excited as well. I'm seeing it in the chat. Hi, John. Good to see you. And from there, we are already at the first session point of today. So Ed, now it's your turn. How are you? I know that he had some.
There we go.
Yeah, perfect.
So apologies for the, using my phone here, but I ran into a little bit of a problem with my Zoom on my computer, so I'll just do it from here. We want to kind of just give you a little bit of information about the IGEL Academy transition that's happened. You may or may not be aware of it if you haven't been there, but essentially we've changed the back end provider that we use for our LMS, IGEL Academy, to a new provider called Skilljar. And this new provider is going to really give us a lot of flexibility in terms of not only user experience for those of you who are getting in there and working on our on our courses, but also for our back end reporting and different things like that. And as part of that transition over to this new environment, we've merged the login process with our customer portal. Now, that's going to be great for some of you who have a customer portal account, because you're just going to have an automatic login that will connect you back into IGEL Academy. You'll use the same password you use for the customer portal, and you'll be able to log right in. So that's going to be great for you. If you don't have a customer portal account, don't worry. It's a fairly quick process. We just ask you to re-register. So the re-registration is just right on the first page. If you go to learn.igel.com, and you'll see register here will be listed there. It's a button. You just go ahead and click that. It'll take you to a registration page. Fill that out. There'll be an email that comes to you to just verify that email address. Click that to verify, and then our customer care group will verify your account on the back end, connect you to your company in our CRM, and then activate your account. If you're using the same email address that you had on IGEL Academy, all of our current courses and any active certifications were moved over. So you won't see certifications for let's say ICP from 2021, right? Those will probably be gone because they're 2-year certifications. They're expired. You're not going to see that history moved over. But if you have a certificate that you took within the last 2 years for any technical course, or within the last year for a sales course, then most likely you're going to see that when you log in. It'll be in your My Profile section in the new LMS. Now, if you find that something's missing that you know should be there, just reach out to us at training@igel.com and I'll get it fixed for you. Unfortunately, the migration process is not perfect. We did get a few that slipped through. So we've been dealing with those as they come in. If you see something missing, just give us a quick show and quick email, and we'll take care of it for you. Okay, so that's the whole rigmarole about our transition. Let me send you over to Mike, and Mike's going to actually show it to you so you can see what it looks like and walk you around if you haven't seen it yet.
All right. Hello, everybody. Mike Weyrauch. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I'm super excited to just give you a quick walkthrough of what the platform looks like. So as Ed was mentioning, Here's the registration page for learn.igel.com. For those of you who are partners, there's no more /partner. There's none of that. Okay, everything is taken care of on the back end through the single sign-on. We have your instructions here. We also have a video for you on the registration process. If you're brand new to IGEL, just click register here. It'll launch you off. You can get your account up and running. But as Ed mentioned, if you log in and you're having some trouble with your profile or anything, please let us know, and we are happy to help you out. So if we take a look at it after you get signed in, this is from the customer side. Each profile is going to have a different look. If you are a partner, you will have access to the sales enablement, which I'll show you in just a second. But from the customer side, we really tried to streamline this and just keep it as simple as possible. Okay, if you need to get started, you've never started before, click here. It'll get you going on our foundations, which is our base level course. And you actually cannot take any other course until you've completed the foundation. So things will unlock as you go. We really tried to build this out almost as a path. So, what's recommended after foundations and so on. But if you drill into the technical enablement course catalog, you can see that we have our options here. You've got ICP for the full IGEL certified professional on how to administer and to kind of get your environment up and running. If you are simply just looking at it from UMS as a service, which is something that is a recent offering from IGEL, you want to go into the cloud professional, which is a bit more stripped down. It's more about the management piece, not necessarily the configuration side of it. You have your pro packs, and then if you are an Academy for Life, Premium Academy for Life member, this is where you would drill in. Now, I just want to mention real quick that if you do have Academy Premium, we will be releasing on Monday the latest iteration of the IGEL Certified Engineer with the updated UI from version 12.8 and higher. So it'll have the new look, it'll have the new features. This one is the previous iteration of the course, and it's still live. That will be switched over on Monday. So if you have to finish up the exam, or if you've already taken the course and you want to just finish the exam just to get your certification, you can still do that. Please make sure that you enroll in this course before September 1st. Okay, so make sure that you enroll into it. Now, it won't show up in your course catalog. Okay, it won't show up in the course catalog. However, as Ed mentioned before, you can go up to the top right corner, click your icon, My Profile, and it'll pull up with all the courses that you have registered for. And this is where you can find it. All right, so you'll be able to find here. Now, one of the issues we had with our previous platform with Docebo is a lot of people didn't know where to go to look at their certifications. And with Skilljar, again, it's much easier. In the profile, you can see where your certifications are. This is just a test account. You can click on your certificate and it'll launch. You can download it. Okay. And another cool feature which we ask you to do is you can add it directly to your LinkedIn profile. So you've most likely seen your colleagues who have gotten certifications from other vendors and whatnot, and they have been able to kind of show their certificate and show their accomplishment. Just click add to profile here for LinkedIn, and it will send you to LinkedIn to do your post. Another thing, let me head back here. Another thing I want to walk through real quick is just navigation. So if we head into, let's say we go to ICP. The courses themselves are still designed the exact same way. One of the easiest parts of migration was just taking our course shells. Just taking our course content and putting them into course shells. So everything is designed exactly the same way as it was on our previous platform. However, the navigation is just slightly different. You can see here you have the course overview and about the course. And once you get started and you complete each of the modules, one of the things you'll notice as this gets spun up here, down in the bottom right corner is your next button. Okay, so after you finish this introduction and you go through and you finish up the course, this button down in the bottom right corner will unlock. Previously, you would go up to the top right corner and hit close. I know we have some people who have been kind of confused by that in the new platform. So to move through to the next module, down in the bottom right corner, this will unlock as soon as you complete. And then you'll get to a congratulations page, which will then give you your next steps. Where do you go next? Recommended courses for you after you finish, and so on and so forth. But that's pretty much it. Again, for partners, you will see the sales enablement piece that's there. That will expand as more courses are added, and also the Pro Packs piece that will expand for free users. Also, we're actually just finishing up working on a distributed app repository Pro Pack right now, which hopefully will be out sometime next week. And we're going to really start now that this migration is over, we're really going to start focusing on more and more technical enablement for our customers and partners. If you have any questions, let's check the chat. I don't think there's anything.
No, the Q&A seems pretty calm as well, so we should be good on the Academy side. Thank you very much, Mike and Ed.
Absolutely.
And,
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for the migration. If you use the correct link, it works extremely well. That's just saying from my end. It was my bad. So thank you very much. Jason, we are handing over to you. So we see the presentation. We saw it.
But he is still muted.
Yeah.
Sorry, it hit my mute button.
All good.
Okay.
All good.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for allowing me to come talk to you today. Got some exciting topics. Again, I'm Jason McCallum. I'm the Senior Director of Advanced Services. That's the professional services arm of IGEL. Been here about 5+ years at IGEL, 25 years or so of Citrix engineering and consulting. And we have technical relationship managers, or TRMs. They are the dedicated engineers for customer success. We also offer quick start packages, which are packages to get you from, a new customer to a pro in production, ready to go packages, statement of work packages, and also migration packages. So if you're trying to go from 11 to 12 or some other version, please reach out to us. We're happy to help. So let's get into the agenda real quickly. I did flip it around a little bit. Sebastian, I'm going to talk about the App Creator Portal first, and then we'll go into the IGEL Managed Hypervisor, and then we'll get into the Q&A session for you guys. So quickly, IGEL App Creator Portal, why are we doing this? We went from IGEL OS 11, which was a firmware-based operating system. That means we included everything in the product. To now we're a modular OS operating system, very similar to like your iPhone if you're using iPhone. So we have our operating system, which is also a package that we store in the app portal. So you can upgrade through just the base OS. And then you can also upgrade independently different packages. So if you wanted to download Citrix or Omnissa Horizon or AVD, you can download those from the app portal and then update them individually versus having to update everything at the same time. Now, again, why App Creator Portal? We wanted to make a simplistic tool. Not everyone's a Ron Nair from the community that's amazing with custom partitions and IGEL OS 11. So we wanted to make this a little more simplistic for our partners, our customers, to be able to go in and create their own applications. A lot of customers may have point of sale applications. They want to run that directly on the IGEL instead of using IGEL as a springboard to a VDI technology. So they're trying to put their applications directly on the OS and use it more of as a desktop versus a springboard. So with that, we created the app portal and the app creator portal for creating those applications. Now we did make it very simple. All you need is a couple of requirements here. Licensing, you need at least a IGEL standard license. Now this is going based on our feature-based licensing model that we just moved to back in October. and I have some resources on more about that. But if you start with a standard license, you're going to have the community certificate. That means if you do create an application and wrap that application with a cert, it will be a community cert, and anyone in the community that gets a hold of that package could also run it. If you are on the IGEL Enterprise or above, and when I say above, I'm talking healthcare SKU, government SKU, you will get the company-owned certificate capability, which means you can wrap that in your own cert, and that means that no one else will be able to run that application unless they have that cert from your company. You'll also need UMS 12 or higher. We recommend UMS 12.7. IGEL OS 12.5 or higher. The recipe for your application. Now, a recipe, we'll get into that in a minute, but it's basically an XML file that tells you, hey, this is where we need the information to be installed. Here's where some of these other file stuff is stored. So that's kind of what the recipe is. And then you'll need the binaries. You'll need the actual Linux files for your executable, your app. So you can download that from your distribution or from your partner application company, those binaries, and then we'll help you write the recipe. There's a lot of recipe that Ron Nair has already created on the community portal, GitHub. So it's very simplistic versus what we used to do. So a real quick demo. Now, I'm gonna say I'm cheating here a little bit. This is all gonna be recorded demos, and I'm also cheating because I'm using a demo that uses a existing recipe that already has the binaries attached. So it's gonna go really fast. I don't have a whole lot of time today to go into this. If you do need a more live personal demo, please feel free to reach out to me, reach out in the community, and someone can get on and give you an actual live demo. So what we're doing here is if you go to the app portal, app creator portal, you'll be able to select your recipe. We're using SpeedCrunch. And again, that recipe's already got the binaries associated with it. So we're just going to accept the licensing agreement. And a lot of that's just for distribution purposes. So we're going to hit create. And what that does is it's wrapping that certificate and all the XML recipe information around with that binary. And what you're going to get in the end is a certificate that you will then import into your UMS and an IPKG file that you'll also import into your UMS and distribute those two things to your devices, and that way they will be able to use SpeedCrunch on those devices. So again, I showed you a very simple demo. The next demo is a lot more lengthy, so I wanted to make sure we had time. Also on this PowerPoint, and we'll be sharing this, is some resources you can use. There's a solution brief around this. It gives you a lot more insight onto why and how we created the App Creator Portal. There's the actual App Creator Portal site as well on here. And then Sebastian and the KB team did a fantastic job documenting the App Creator Portal as well. So that's all in the PowerPoint. And let's move on to a little more information on the GitHub that Ron Nair has been contributing to. So that's also on here. Okay, let's jump into IGEL Managed Hypervisor just to get through this. What is it? So IGEL Managed Hypervisor enables seamless integration between outdated operating systems and modern hardware. What does that really mean? That means if you have a piece of hardware that's running some outdated software like Windows XP and it's got some software on it that will only run on Windows XP, we're trying to give you the capability of capturing that Windows XP software and the software that's running on Windows XP into an image and being able to deploy that to a hypervisor. And just so everyone's understanding, the hypervisor is running on IGEL OS, so you'd be able to distribute that image to a IGEL workstation or thin client that's now running IGEL Managed Hypervisor and spin up your image. So really quickly, I'm just going to give a small demo of what that kind of looks like. So here's Windows XP running. Um, you can see there's a toolbar at the top. I'm going to kind of minimize that. And then you can see that it's actually running on IGEL OS with the virtual machine manager. And then I'm actually shadowing that IGEL OS. Okay, so that's kind of how it looks. Uh, and let's get into how we use it. So again, some requirements. There is a IGEL feature-based license for this as well. You do have to be on enterprise subscription or above. Again, that means government SKU or healthcare SKU. Um, and I put a link in here for the IGEL OS editions. If you click on that, it really breaks down all the features of those different IGEL OS editions. And you will also need an IGEL Managed Hypervisor add-on license. So this is a feature pack, is what this is considered. And that's also in the IGEL OS editions section. You'll be able to find the feature pack in there as well. And then you'll configure your UMS profiles. So let's do a little more on the hardware side. You will need IGEL UMS 12.7 or higher. And then you will need IGEL OS 12.6 or higher, or 12.6.1. UMS Enterprise license, like I mentioned before. Hypervisor app installed on IGEL OS device. So you will need to download the IGEL Hypervisor app and install that on your IGEL OS device. You'll also need WebDAV. Now, WebDAV is a feature that comes with enterprise license as well, but you will need to deploy that. So that's running on a server, and it's running basically IIS and WebDAV. From the CPU and RAM's perspective, you'll need a 64-bit capable dual-core 1.5 gigahertz CPU, at least 8 gigs of RAM. We're recommending 16 because you are running Windows on IGEL OS, and we recommend 8 gigs of RAM as the minimum specs for just running IGEL OS 12 on a device. So if you're going to add on another operating system, we do recommend 16, at least 128 gigs of flash memory. And then here's some of the tested operating systems we've done in the past, but it's not limited to these. You can actually run Linux on top of Linux or anything that's x86 capable. So what am I going to show you from the demos perspective really fast? It's going to be how we create an IGEL OS 12 image for, let's say, Windows. I think I'm doing Windows XP on an IGEL OS 12. Creating the VM, capturing the VM, deploying the VM, and then we'll show how it kind of runs in the background and all the tool sets associated. So really quickly, here's the virtual manager that gets deployed when you deploy IGEL Managed Hypervisor. What we're going to do here is create just a new virtual machine on IGEL OS 12. And I think it's just Windows XP again, really quickly. And this is very similar to your VMware, VirtualBox, any of those tools out there. They're all going to have the same kind of tool set, and it should be very familiar to you. So here we are specifying the RAM and CPU and the disk imaging, or the disk size, the name, that kind of stuff. And then you got to install Windows. We can also do networking. We can do the NAT translation, bridge mode, all that kind of stuff. So again, this should look very familiar tool set for creating VMs. And I'll speed it up a little bit. Here we go. We're installing Windows. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide where we're actually capturing it. So once you have your Windows installed and you have it all updated, we're going to capture that image and store it on that WebDAV server. So we have a little tool called IMH Upload, very simplistic. We just pick the files off the local system, put that on the WebDAV server, which is what we're pointing to here. This 192.168.48 is the WebDAV server. So I'm just getting the URLs that we're going to use for that to store the images, and then we'll click upload, and you'll see that they're now there on the WebDAV server. So a very simplistic way of capturing the image. And then let's move on to what's a part of that. So we have the, again, disk image. It's an IMG file, and we have the configuration file, which is where you have your CPU and memory and networking and all that fun stuff stored in the XML file. And this is kind of an example of what that looks like. Okay, so let's deploy it now. So we're in our UMS console. We're going to go configure a IGEL Managed Hypervisor machine. We're just creating a folder here to store that in. And then we're going to create that new profile. So all we're going to be doing here is creating a profile that we have to check the IGEL Managed Hypervisor app. This is where we're going to create a little more information about the machine, and we can steal that from the WebDAV server. Again, some simplistic information, where the source files are. There's that configuration file, which actually has the destination files, images files, locations. And this is creating the icons that'll be on your desktop. And then we're going to assign it to a device. All right, so now it's assigned. That means that device is going to start downloading those image files and be ready to go to boot up that image. So how does it look when we run this thing? So this is us, basically it's deployed to the device. How do we kickstart the VM on the IGEL OS device? So we're going to go back into our IGEL Managed Hypervisor folder, click on the device, and now we have a Managed Hypervisor tab for that device, and it knows about the different VMs that are stored on there. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to bring up the different views, kind of like shadowing, but it's the console view of those VMs. And you don't have to do this on your IGEL OS 12 when you're running, let's say, Windows XP on that. You can actually, for your users, boot it up and it will only see Windows XP or Windows 10. So we can completely emulate Windows box. Um, but for simplistic sake and for the demo, I wanted you to be able to see that we're actually running Windows on the IGEL OS, and we can run multiple versions of Windows at the same time on that IGEL OS. So there we go. So it's been deployed, and how I mentioned earlier, we're trying to save that machine, that outdated machine that was running Windows XP and some proprietary software. Now we can actually, since we've captured it, we can deploy it to multiple devices now instead of it being stuck on one single piece of outdated hardware. There's all of our tools. We can reboot, shut down, shadow. So again, very simple. It looks a lot like the same tool set you've had in the past if you used VMware before, or VirtualBox, or some of the other Proxmox boxes or anything like that. I will say that there is no IGEL tool today for capturing that image. Today, it's more of a build process and mirror what you have running in your production environment today. But there are tools out there on the internet for doing P2V with our basically virtual machine open source tools that you can use. Here's some other resources again for you. The solutions briefing, an overview, a great KB article by Sebastian's team again. And that's all I have on the IGEL Managed Hypervisor. So I'm gonna turn this back over to Sebastian. And
with pleasure.
Q&A if y'all have any questions for him.
So we had a couple of questions, but we could answer them hopefully in the chat. So HP Automat was asking, I'm sorry, use case is customer without VDI could use IMH, allowed to run on any desktop notebooks, like an example. So yes, you could run a Windows machine now on IGEL OS or any other operating system which is fitting in your needs. But yes, that's one of the major use cases we are following with the IMH stuff. And let me look at the rest. So by the way, guys, if you have any questions now, it's your turn. So you can use the Q&A. If you prefer to use the chat, use the chat. Jason is there to answer whatever question you might have related to IMH and App Creator Portal. Ron was already so kind to share a lot of great links regarding resources he created, as well as a web dev component. So you're not obliged to set up something by your own, but you can use an existing recipe. So what else is showing up, guys? Anything else you would like to ask? We have plenty of time. So we rushed through the topics, and since there is not a lot of questions, we are already ahead of time. But again, it's your turn, and we are here to help and to answer whatever questions you might have. But it's pretty calm today, which is good. Means that you covered everything, Jason?
Did I go too fast?
No. You did marvelous. You did marvelous.
Right.
It's more that the topic itself, it was already shared a couple of times.
Oh, good.
We get a question or more remark from Giacomo, who is a reseller in Italy, regarding the pricing of the Managed Hypervisor topic itself. So we know that in some parts of Europe, the pricing could be challenging. But Giacomo, let's take this offline. I will contact you as well. And I know that you will not be there in Augsburg, but we can have a chat on this separately. I know that this topic was raised a couple of times already. Oh, good. So see you in Augsburg, Giacomo. Great to hear. Okay. Then if nothing else is showing up, guys, I give you 40 minutes. Oh, there was one. When will the Buddy Peer app be released and how would it work? So that's a question which is not related to Jason, nor to Academy. So Günther, this question is still raised to our product management to get a proper timing. So I know that this topic was discussed a couple of times. So for everyone who is listening, we're talking about the Buddy update approach for OS 12, which is not there at the moment. So I can tell you that for the moment, our plans is that it will not be a separate app from what I understood, but more integrated into your operating system. I hope I'm not telling anything wrong at the moment, but that's what I heard. So yeah, we are still on track on this, but I will double check with product management to get a proper feedback if it's still what we planned, and come back to you, Günther. Okay, late September. So hopefully it will still be available. Yeah, the recording will be available. We will upload it to our IGEL community YouTube channel as always, and we will share the recording link and every resources afterwards in our Dash Events channel in case someone is wanting to see it. Great, thank you very much, guys. Thank you especially to Jason, Ed, and Mike for joining, obviously also to René. But especially to our external speakers who are not part of the community team. Thank you very much. I wish you all a pleasant rest of your day. And
for those in Europe, a great time. Xavier has a question. I think Xavier raised his hand. Did you see that?
I think it was, yeah. So would you like to ask a question, Xavier? Or was it just saying bye? I can unmute you if you want. Give me a second, please. So, Xavier, here we go. Allowed to talk, so you should be unmuted.
He was just saying
okay. Bye. Oh, good. Then, Xavier, say bye to yourself as well.
Sorry,
I wish you a pleasant rest of your day. No, good. Thanks for muting. Guys, Have a pleasant rest of your day, and thank you again to everyone who speaked up.
Thanks, everybody.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.